Welcome to The Insider. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe, like, share, comment and click on the notification bell for latest football news vibes. Liverpool remain unbeaten in the Premier League this season after coming out on top in a hard-fought contest against West Ham on Sunday afternoon. Following the recent pattern of Liverpool's first-half performances, Jurgen Klopp's side started off slow and should have been 2-0 down in the first 10 minutes if it wasn't for a superb Alisson Becker save and a horrendous missed header from Michail Antonio. However, unlike most other games this season, Liverpool kicked into gear much quicker after Mohamed Salah buried the penalty he won in the 16th minute, and from that moment on, the Reds piled on the pressure. Jarrod Bowen's incredible header in the final moments of the first half came at a terrible time and no doubt forced Klopp to rethink his halftime team talk. A stunning finish from Darwin Núñez and a late finish from substitute Diogo Jota secured the 3 points for Liverpool, but also their third 3-1 win in a row. Here are 5 talking points from the match. Perhaps the biggest talking point for Liverpool's clash with West Ham occurred before a whistle was even blown. When the lineups were announced, hopefully expecting to see Trent Alexander-Arnold's name for the first time since the Reds' 3-0 victory over Aston Villa before the international break. The 24-year-old who wore the captain's armband in Virgil van Dijk's absence was substituted around the 70th minute after receiving treatment on the field, and it was subsequently announced that he had sustained a hamstring injury that would leave him on the sidelines for around 3 weeks. However, despite Alexander-Arnold having targeted the West Ham game for his return to action exactly 3 weeks since the injury, the defender failed to make the matchday squad. Missing a player with that much quality always creates problems, but the Reds have managed his absence remarkably well, with Joe Gomez and Stefan Bajcetic deputizing at right back and overseeing victories over Wolves and Lask. Despite the good form, supporters will be keeping their fingers crossed that Alexander-Arnold will be back sooner rather than later, with the Reds facing Leicester in the League Cup in just 3 days, followed by a very tough trip to Tottenham next weekend. If there's ever a game that sums up Núñez, then it was this one. After missing an absolute sitter early in the second half, it was looking like it just wasn't going to be the Uruguayan's day. Salah fed through a great ball to the striker's feet inside the box, but the ball was absolutely lashed into the stands. However, in typical chaos ball fashion, Núñez missed the simple chance, so of course he had to bury the hard one to give Liverpool the lead. A fantastic looped ball from Alexis Mac Allister fell perfectly to the number 9. He let the ball drop over his shoulder before he volleyed it into the bottom corner past Alphonse Areola. It was a truly remarkable finish and one that left Núñez smiling from ear to ear when he eventually made way for Cody Gakpo in the 81st minute. Speaking of the Dutchman, Gakpo's intense pressing and tracking back looks to be something that rubbed off on Núñez against West Ham. The striker worked tirelessly all game, so it's no coincidence why he played for almost the full 90 minutes. Despite failing to keep a clean sheet once again this season, Liverpool's defense for the most part performed exceptionally against West Ham. There have been plenty of question marks regarding the Reds' defensive options going into this season, and no players have received more criticism than Joe Gomez and Joel Matip. Both players have had more than their fair share of injuries and have made high-profile mistakes in big games, but against West Ham, they were excellent. Gomez played superbly at right back to the point where he did the impossible task of making Liverpool fans temporarily forget about the injury to Alexander-Arnold. That's no easy feat. While Matip absolutely bullied West Ham's attack, and hundreds of Anfield Watch fans have voted the 32-year-old as man of the match. Meanwhile, Andy Robertson had the left side locked down, and his corner led to Diogo Jota scoring Liverpool's third. One player who had a tough day was Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk. Out of the back four, he was seemingly the weak link. He should have done more to get goalside and stop Bowen's equaliser, and he would have also been at fault if the Englishman had scored his free header in the second half. Van Dijk's saving grace was his nod down to assist Diogo Jota's goal, which made it 3-1 and finish off the game. A very interesting statistic emerged before the game, and this one will certainly please Liverpool fans. West Ham boss David Moyes has never won a game at Anfield in his entire managerial career, which is especially nice to hear when considering the Scotsman has managed Liverpool's two biggest rivals in Everton and Manchester United. Moyes has visited the red half of Merseyside on 19 occasions in his career to date, and after the most recent 3-1 battering at the hands of Klopp, he has lost on 13 of those visits and drawn 6. This isn't the only thing that will amuse Liverpool fans, other than the win and 3 points of course, as West Ham striker Michael Antonio was convinced the London club were going to get a result against the Reds, riling up fans on social media. Antonio said on his podcast, the Footballers Football Podcast, "I am backing myself over Liverpool. You know what, I think we are going to finish higher than Liverpool this season. I'm putting it out there. We've got them this weekend and it's a 6-pointer. We've got them," he added. While his confidence should be admired, unfortunately for Antonio, he was substituted in the second half without a sniff on goal. Liverpool striker Darwin Núñez netted a brilliant goal as his side romped to a 3-1 Premier League win over a dogged West Ham United side at Anfield on Sunday, deftly steering home a volley on the hour mark. The visitors got off to a flying start when Tomas Soucek forced a brilliant save from Alisson with a downward header in the 7th minute, and 2 minutes later Michail Antonio headed a Soucek cross wide with the goal at his mercy. But the Hammers were left to rue those early misses when Mohamed Salah was felled by Naif Aguerd in the 15th minute for a Stonewall penalty, and the Egyptian attacker stepped up to smash home the resulting spot kick to give Liverpool the lead. That kick started the home side, but West Ham still managed to level before the break when Jarrod Bowen dived at the feet of Virgil van Dijk to score with a superb low header for his 4th goal of the season. The goal was eerily similar to the James Ward-Prowse strike that put them ahead against Manchester City a week ago, but once again it wasn't enough to get them anything from the game. After spurning a number of decent chances, Núñez finally got on the scoresheet when he latched on to a beautiful lofted pass from Alexis Mac Allister, much to the delight of the Anfield crowd. That goal took the wind out of the Hammers' sails, and substitute Diogo Jota was able to hook home a 3rd goal from Virgil van Dijk's knockdown in the 85th minute, 4 minutes after coming off the bench. The win leaves Liverpool in 2nd spot in the table on 16 points, 2 behind leaders Manchester City, while West Ham are 7th on 10 points. After going behind in several early season games, Liverpool looked much more like their old selves in Sunday's win. "We are working really hard and everyone can see we have improved a lot since the beginning, and this is the way, and we will have to keep working. It was a very tough game. We know them, we know how they play, and we knew that they were going to try and defend a lot and try to counter-attack. We prepared really well for the game and thank goodness we won it," he added. Thanks for watching this video.